Hi everyone, today we're going to make Turkish coffee. So first of all, what is Turkish coffee? If you have heard of Greek coffee or Arabic coffee or Turkish coffee, well, they're the same thing, but I guess the Greeks and the Turks and everybody, they just want to claim it on their own. But Turkish coffee is also the original way of making coffee. This goes way back to the times before we had coffee makers and espresso makers and all these things. So first I'm going to tell you what Turkish coffee is, the things you need in order to make it, and then I'll show you how to make it, and I will give you some more information. So first of all, Turkish coffee is almost like espresso coffee. It's a very fine, powdery consistency, and there are different ways you could go about this. So one, you could buy it at the store, the actual Turkish coffee. So this is what I have. And this is something you can buy at your local Middle Eastern store or international food store or even Russian store. They often have all kinds of Middle Eastern things. But if you don't have it locally, you could maybe buy it online. But if you don't want to do that, you could actually get this at your local grocery store, your American grocery store. So what you're going to do is buy the whole coffee beans and go to the store like Costco or most of your grocery stores where they have the coffee grinder. And if you look at it, there are different settings. So the coarsest coffee is all the way to the one end, and the other end you have espresso grind, and then there's one more setting, and that is Turkish coffee grind. So that's how you're going to get that powdery consistency. Besides that, you will need this container. So this is a metal container with a long handle, and this is helpful because you're going to hold it like this. You're going to put it in the flame or on the stove top, and you don't want to have something that you have to hold this close. If all else fails, I guess that could work. You just have to be careful. And this is pretty big. I drink a lot of coffee. Usually you're gonna find it about half size. And this is basically all you need. The great thing is that you could make this over your stove at home, your camp stove while you're camping. You could even just have it over a campfire. You could actually put it over the flames, or you can do it the way I like to do it, is that after your fire kind of burns down, all those coals and everything, they're still pretty hot. So you just put this, because it's metal, you just put it on top of it, kind of like nestled inside, and it's going to heat it up. And by the way, you do not drink these huge cups of this coffee. You just get a little espresso style cup and you drink it like that. So what I have a little camping cup. This is a little small. That's what I use. This is how you make it. You take your container, which is actually called Ibrik in Turkish and in Hungarian. So you take that and you fill it about 3/4 way with water. Don't fill it all the way because it will boil over. And then you will take a few teaspoons of coffee and you simply put it in the water. There's no reason to stir it. It's just not going to get mixed up. How much coffee you put in there, it's kind of up to you. You might have to play around with it and make this coffee a few times and see how you like it, if you want it stronger or not so strong. So I kind of packed a lot of coffee in there because I like it strong. And that's it. You are going to place this either on your stove or in the fire. If you like your coffee sweet, you need to add sugar now. At the same time you add the coffee. You will not be able to add it later. In fact, if you're ever in Turkey or in the Middle East and you order this coffee in a coffee house, you need to tell them that you want coffee with sugar. If you just say you want coffee, then you will more likely just get bitter coffee, which would be fine because you can just have it with some pastry or dessert. So you have your coffee on the heat source and you're going to bring it to a boil twice. This is the first one. You can stir it a few times. You don't really have to, but you need to stand right there and watch it because it's not a lot of water. So the boil will happen very fast, and as soon as it starts boiling, you need to take it off the heat because it will just boil over and it will be a huge mess. The first time it comes to a boil, it might look kind of muddy, looks a little weird. Not always, but most of the time. Don't worry, you could stir it up a little bit, cool it down just a little, just wait a few seconds, maybe like 20 seconds, and then put it back into the fire or on your stove and then it will come to a second boil, which will happen very fast, so make sure you watch it, and then everything will be just nice and clear. All of a sudden it will look like this beautiful coffee that you always wanted. So then you will take it off the heat and you are done. When you serve your coffee, you will use a small cup, kind of like this one, because this is actually enough for 2 people. And if you make your coffee like I did without sugar, it's going to be very bitter. You want to serve it with some dessert, some pastries or chocolate. I'm actually using a Cliff Bar, which is a granola bar, because I'm camping. And make sure you do not stir this coffee. We have the tendency to want to stir it up. Try to stay away from that, and you need to pour it very slowly and carefully, because all the coffee grinds are settled on the bottom and you don't want to dump all of that in your cup. You will have a little bit pour over, but you want to make sure it's not all of it, and then just let it sit for a little bit so that it settles on the bottom, and then you drink it like that. So this is why you had to add sugar in the beginning, because now if you add it and you're going to stir it up, it will be a very long time before it settles down, and it will just be this thick, muddy coffee, and you won't be able to enjoy it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, please leave me a comment and I will answer as soon as I can. Once again, thank you so much, and I will see you next time. Doggies, come here. Come here, baby. Hi. Hi, sweetie.